So guys, it's round 2 of tonight's Friday Night Magic tournament from Lost Legion Games and Comics. We've got on the left, Brian Grose is playing the rock, green-black mid-range. He mulled to 4 on the draw. Could not find a land in any of his first 3 starting hands. His opponent is Alec Myers. We're well aware of his deck by this point. Playing Colossal Gruul, chaining 2 emissaries into a scavenging ooze. And this game is going to be over relatively quickly, I would imagine, due to a combination of Brian's misfortune and Alec's good fortune. So Alec down to 1 card in hand, everything on board here. We serve in for 9 here, puts Brian down to 3, and I can't think of a card in Standard that will get him out of the situation. A 4th land in Damnation, which doesn't exist, would do it. But, so game 2, Brian off to a much better start. He didn't mold a 6 here, but he found a 6 he could keep and leads off with a turn 1 Thoughtseize. A nice lore 1 Thoughtseize, netting a Chandra Pyromaster. Alec going to go ahead and leave his hand up rather than having Brian write it down. Also in hand, looks like we've got a Elvish Mystic, Burning Tree, Scavenging Ooze, and a Shockland. So it looks like we can fire up a Burning Tree chain here if we want to, which we do, and followed it up with a Scavenging Ooze, and use our Mystic to play another Mystic, and end of turn Brian's going to deal with the Scavenging Ooze with an ultimate price. So Brian, much better, or much greater chance of winning this game, as he has not had a mull into oblivion here. Brian's deck's pretty interesting. I didn't see the entire list, but as he thumbed through the deck to give me an idea of what he was playing, saw a lot of control elements, abrupt decays, a lot of removal, hero's downfall, as well as Reaper of the Wilds. So it should be pretty interesting there. Domri comes down for Alec, misses on a +1, but we still serve in with 4 power of creatures. Dropping Brian down to 14. Let's see what the follow-up is here. We're going to Read the Bones. So Brian drops down to 12 here. Not a very comfortable life total whatsoever. So Alex serves in with the team here, or serves in with his Burning Tree Emissary after resolving a Rurik Thar. So this one looks like it's going to be over relatively quickly too here, as Brian's going to need to find a way to deal with that Rurik Thar. It's going to cost him 6 life to do it. We could play a Desecration Demon here to block it, but it's never going to be able to block. There's a Reaper of the Wild. Reaper does not have enough, Brian does not have enough mana up to be able to regenerate his Reaper. He's going to give it Death Touch though and trade with the Rurik Thar. He does get to resolve 1 scry since Rurik Thar dies, because it does read other creature, and then Alec just follows up with a Burning Tree into Sylvan Caryatid. So Brian's still dead on board here, but cards in hand, likely going to be able to find something to clog up the ground here. Reaper of the Wild's a card that doesn't see a lot of play, and I don't really know why. So Brian with a Caryatid of his own as a follow-up to another Reaper here. So Alec showing the interaction between Temple of Abandon and Domri, scries away a dead card, but misses on a blind activation. But Domri ticking up, getting close to ultimate. And when it does ultimate, those Elvish Mystics become a lot harder to deal with. Brian down to just one card in hand. And there's a Pelucranos. We've got 4 mana up, so we've got enough mana to give the Reaper Death Touch and take out a 1-drop if we want to here. We'd also like to start swinging in with the Reaper, though I don't think we have that luxury, as we do have only a 4 life total. But Brian's going to go ahead and pile in, and Alec is just going to get rid of a useless Caryatid at this point. So Alec ultimates Domri, serves in with the team. I'm going to have to go and double check what Domri reads. I don't know all the things it gives. Haste, Double Strike, Hexproof, and Trample. Yep, so Brian, I think trying to activate Pelucranos, but needed to do that before the emblem stuck, so that we can do things prior to Shroud. So those are going to have Double Strike there. Alec explaining that if he wants to live, he needs to block the 2 big guys. So we do block the 2 emissaries. We take 4 from the now double striking Elvish Mystics. Brian goes down to 2, but it's going to be very tough to beat this Domri emblem, as all his creatures have Shroud. We can't monstrous unless we target our own Reaper, and that's enough. The Domri emblem too much to answer. It's the kind of game where Brian would have loved to have found a hero's downfall. So a little bit of bad luck in game 1 in terms of mulligans. Then in game 2, a reasonable draw from both players, but Alec being able to pull away with an active Domri. So we got a lot of time left in the round. Guys are going to move outside and see if we can find another match to slot over. So we should be back with some more Magic here very shortly, so stay tuned. Alright guys, we found a replacement match here. We got on the left Adam Vickers, who is running... He's not a mono black promotion, he's on the rock as well. He normally plays... in weeks past he's played mono black Devotion a considerable amount, but... he's decided this week that he told me before the tournament he just wanted to play with Deathright and Abrupt Decays again. So that's what he's on. And his opponent is Justin Carpenter, who we've seen in weeks past, who's playing a Gruul midrange deck. It is basically the same kind of Colossal Gruul deck, but playing Storm Breath Dragons and Gore Clan Rampagers, so a little bit more aggro than the other builds. Adam going right up to a 3 mana, then casting a Lifebane zombie, revealing a hand of Witchstalker, Gore Clan Rampager, Stormbreath Dragon, a Domri, and 2 lands. Justin shocking in response to the trigger. Doesn't really make any difference. Much more relevant when the 3/1 is a Vendilion click, and you want to make sure that they don't push the card that would kill the click. But also pretty sure that the Witchstalker is exiled, but if that ever comes up, if a Scavenging Ooze makes an appearance, I'll go make sure they move that. A Domri makes an appearance, ticks up to 4, but misses. So there's 3 mana. We're going to see another Lifebane Zombie, revealing a Rampager, but more importantly revealing that Justin has drawn a second Storm Breath.
Those are exiled. I only say it because you got to use those and stuff, right?
What do? This is taking a minute.
Alright, so we got that squared away. So 2 Lifebane Zombies doing a lot of work getting the Hexproof Witchstalker, getting a Gorklan Rampager. But Adam's, and more importantly, giving Adam information, letting him know he's going to have to play around these 2 Stormbreath Dragons. So if he has a Hero's Downfall or an Ultimate Price, he's going to want to leave that up. Shocking himself down to 18 here. For a Nightveil Spectre. So leaving Ultimate Price, no, it's Devour Flesh we're leaving up here. So Justin in a spot here, he can run out his dragon. He can use the dragon to fight a Lifebane Zombie if he so chooses to. That will of course kill Domri. But it's got to be pretty obvious to Justin that Adam has left up some kind of removal spell here. But I don't really know if he has an option beyond just running it out and seeing what happens. So a total blowout there. Justin uses Domri to fight in response. Adam sacking or casting Devour Flesh forcing Justin to sack his only creature. So no damage is dealt when the fight trigger resolves. So Adam in a great spot here. Lifebane Zombie, Nightveil Spectre, 3 cards in hand, and a Mutavault on board. So we're going to load up this Mutavault, it looks like. Get in for 7 and take a card off the top of Justin's deck, and we'll see if it's something pertinent. And it is a shock. So we're 1 red mana source away from being able to play that shock. Adam just plays his Guild Gate tapped and passes the turn back. Always important to play your land after the Nightveil Spectre trigger, just to get a little bit of card advantage should you reveal a land. So there's this second Stormbreath Dragon that we knew about. Looks like a Hero's Downfall is going to take care of it. Adam looks to have stabilized pretty well here. Basically just time walking Justin every turn, as Justin can only afford to play 1 big threat per turn. So Adam attacks in for the same 7 as last turn. Let's see what's on the top of Justin's deck. A Sylvan Caryatid, which Adam can cast, and he can then he will then be able to cast that shock. But instead, he's going to cast a Gray Merchant here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put Justin down to 3, and Adam goes all the way up to 25. So Justin in quite the spot here. 2 early Lifebane zombies doing a lot of work in this matchup. So Justin's on the play here in the decider in round 2. Both these players are... Adam won his round 1. He got paired down. Justin dropped his first one. I believe Justin lost to Brian Grose, who we saw in the first round 2 feature match, who was playing a similar green-black control deck. So Justin with a turn 2 Colonian Tusker. Another difference between his deck and the more aggressive, or the more mid-range type Nykthos decks, where Justin is just a little bit more aggro with a lower curve. So another Temple of Abandon pushing a card to the bottom. Let's see what his follow-up is here. Elvish Mystic, and then serving in response to the Elvish Mystic, we cast Devour Flesh, forcing Justin to get rid of his Colonian Tusker, and then follows up with the Mystic we knew about already. So a turn 3 Pack Rat. Let's take trades with a shock. Justin trying to keep Adam at bay here. So Justin looking for some business here. He's got a grip full of cards here. Looks like 4 in hand. Plays a mountain. We've got enough for a dragon here. Adam is tapped out, so we're going to get in for 4 at a minimum if that's the route we go. So we serve in with the Elvish Mystic and just hardcast a Gore Clan Rampager. And Adam follows up with a Desecration Demon. Demon into this board should do... The RPG guy's getting a little bit crazy out there. Demon into this board should do a lot of work. Justin doesn't really have a ton of ways to effectively deal with it, and doesn't have enough creatures in play to comfortably sack any of them. But we do find a Domri here. Might as well tick that up to 4, I figure. See if we can find something off the top. So he chooses to fight with his Rampager and finishes it off with a shock. So 2 for 1s himself, but gets the demon off the board. And there's an Abrupt Decay that finishes off the Domri. Adam shocks himself so that he can play a Night Veil Spectre. So Justin down to 2 cards, having cast a couple of shocks already. Justin playing the role of control deck here, it seems. A 2-drop coming, Caryatid, which does not influence this board whatsoever. So Justin's draw stalling out pretty tough here. But we know that the power of the cards off the top of Justin's deck should be good enough to get him back in this game, should he hit the right ones. There's a Boon Satyr, which is a pretty good pull from Adam there, as he not only can he cast it, but he has enough mana to bestow it. And Adam does go ahead and bestow that Boon Satyr onto his own Night Veil Spectre. I'm pretty sure he could do that at instant speed as well, but choosing to do it at sorcery speed, as is his prerogative. So another Elvish Mystic hits the board for Justin, not where he wants to be at this stage in the game. Facing down a now 6/5 flying Night Veil Spectre as the guys share a laugh out there about how hard that Spectre hits now. And let's see what's on the top of Justin's deck. It's a Sylvan Caryatid, which again, Adam running pretty good here, nabbing some cards that he can in fact cast, and followed up with another Demon. Another Desecration Demon, so this one's all over but the shouting. Justin does have a board state which will allow him to stave off that demon for a while. But we're going to need to find a dragon, somehow survive, and be able to monstrous it so it can trade in combat. But we're a long ways off from that as another Caryatid comes off the top for Justin. So facing down 2 6-power flyers, likely going to, interesting, choosing to sack the elf instead of the Caryatid, but tapping down the demon, but we're still going to serve in with the Spectre. Let's see what's on top. A Scavenging Ooze. So Adam unfortunately may be using all of his run goods here in round 2, as 3 straight cards he can cast off the top of Justin's deck. That Boon Satyr really escalating the clock here. So Justin's still not dead, as he does have some chump blocking that he can do, but in a pretty rough spot here, that's for sure. End of turn, Adam's going to go ahead and eat an Elvish Mystic, put his ooze up to a 3/3 and himself back up to 16 life. So another sack taps down the demon. We serve in with a 6/6 flyer and a Scavenging Ooze. We can block the ooze there, so we're not dead on board, but I think Justin had just seen enough. Very unlikely for him to dig out of that situation, as he's almost entirely dead next turn. So just around 10 minutes left in the round.